Hi everybody, welcome back to another CineDB.insight, which is an offspring of the CineDB.africa conversation series, a series of in-depth encounters with filmmakers and film professionals from across the continent that was developed by a group of African curators as part of the CineDB.africa project of the Goethe Institute, which is now accessible on the e-portal of Durban FilmMart Institute, which is the new home of CineDB.africa. And we're very happy to be contributing to those resources. I'm super happy today to introduce you to my friend and colleague and comrade, Pierre-Alexis, who works for the Marché du Film of Cannes. Ooh la la, the mothership of film festivals. So nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Brigid.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so for the uninitiated, Cannes Film Festival, Marché du Film, Cannes Docs. What is this universe that we're talking about today?
Right. So, alongside the Cannes Film Festival, very famous, no need to explain, there's the Marché du Film, the film market. So, of course, the film market is the B2B professional event alongside the festival for the entire industry. And within the Marché du Film, there are a number of more specific industry programs on specific genres or communities or issues or topics within the film industry in general. And one of these industry programs is Cannes Docs. So as you can all guess, Cannes Docs is about documentary films, and so more specifically, Cannes Docs is physically inside the Marché du Film over there in Cannes, in this big Palais des Festivals. It's a dedicated venue, a booth, and of course a program of activities and events, all related to documentaries, and particularly feature, creative, cinematic documentaries, and anyone making, producing, and working with feature docs. So that's the general outline. It's part of the Marché. It's a dedicated doc-focused industry program. That's what it is.
You do manage to make this place that is very friendly and very open and with a very flat hierarchy, which is like very unusual, which is why I like being there. And I also do appreciate how much time and energy you dedicate to open networking and socializing and having a glass of wine, and encouraging decision makers also to be super accessible to filmmakers, which is great, I think.
It's important to know that it's very open to everyone. That's another good thing. To access our activities and events, you just need a market badge. There is no profile-based or project-based selection.
So what happens on a regular festival day?
In the morning, we have workshops or presentations, kind of hands-on, practical workshops. For example, a kind of doc sales ABC, to try to understand how it works, how a sales agent works, how one should approach a sales agent, in which context, at what time, etc. We've had the typical kind of pitching training sessions. We have some presentations from, for example, last year we had a presentation from HBO Europe. Henka explained how one could potentially work with HBO Europe. Workshops having to do with outreach, impact, film marketing, etc., etc. So these workshops are kind of more hands-on and practical in the morning. Then in the afternoon, we have these, consultancies. So it's the typical speed meeting format through which filmmakers can meet with industry representatives. That's what you were mentioning earlier. That's one of the, it's a typical thing to do on a as part of an industry program, but at the end of the day, it's really one of the most useful activities to put together for filmmakers. And you have basically direct access to, so that's important. In terms of industry, we mostly bring together at Cannes Docs specialized doc sales agents and festival programmers. That is very important to know. We do not have, well, we have very little, I did mention HBO, but we have very little commissioning editors or TV representatives. Why? Because because we're very much, because it's Cannes on the, again, cinematic feature film side of things, and because there are other major events out there more focused on TV docs, including one in France as well, just 3 weeks after Cannes, the Sunny Side in La Rochelle. So yeah, we're mostly focusing on feature docs. Series is something that we should be focusing more on in the years to come, clearly, but that's a bit of another subject, but it's to mention it. So just keep in mind, if you're a filmmaker, that Cannes Docs is mostly useful if you have projects in rough cut stage, soon to be completed, basically, because, as I said, you will mainly be able to connect with sales agents and festivals. Of course, we also have a few funds. We also have, a great deal of producers. We and some commissioning editors. We have some platforms, of course, as well. But yeah, mainly the main targets you'll be trying to meet will be sales and sales agents and festival representatives. And then we have doc talks, so panels, fantastically hosted and curated by our very dear friends at the Documentary Association of Europe. And so these are, trying to explore and question a number of issues that have something to do with the documentary genre, and in broader terms with, I think, and I hope, and that's also, I think, what we all love about this community and this genre, social issues that we care about, and so we try to again question and explore a number of these issues through these daily doc talks. And then there's the happy hour, which is, of course, the highlight of the day. Well, it's kind of true. It's kind of the climax of the day, because of just the fact that it's the best moment to network. And networking, whether you like it or not, you might as well get used to it if you don't like it that much, because that's going to be your main goal when attending not only Cannes Docs but any major festival or market.
Also, you have special project presentations, correct?
Yes, we do. So that's one part of the program, which, as I was referring to, is a more curated section. So we have these showcases of works in progress, of docs in progress, and the way it works is a bit specific, because we partner with organizations, national film centers or film institutes or documentary film centers from all around the globe, sometimes with festivals or markets or training programs as well. But what the way it works is that we Cannes Docs partner with these different institutions, and they choose 4 projects in rough cut or post in their country, part of the world, or specific network, and bring the teams to Cannes for these showcases of docs in progress. Each showcase is 4 films and there's a pitch, and then there's a we screen a 10-minute clip of the rough cut for the people in the room, again mostly festival programmers and sales agents. So the way it works means that there is no open call on an international and very global level for these showcases, which I know sometimes can be a bit frustrating, because it means that basically you can get in only if one of the partners that we're organizing this with is either your country or part of the world, or some network that you would be part of. So I try to change the participating countries or partners every year, and to bring in as much diversity as possible.
And also, the film teams who pitch at Docs in Progress are eligible for prizes, right?
Yes, absolutely. There are a number of awards, so that's I think we have six awards. And the top award is $10,000 cash prize, which is extremely valuable, of course, thanks to the support of IEFTA. And just for you all to know, last May, for example, this award went to Twice Colonized, which has premiered in Sundance and will open CPH Docs next month. So an incredible film. We are really very happy that it got this main award last May as part of these Docs in Progress showcases, and it's having an incredible career now.
If a filmmaker would like to contact their film center to maybe try and start a relationship with you, when is like a good time to do that? 1 year before, 2 years before?
I would say as soon as possible. I mean, I would say, yeah, whenever there's a maybe a good opportunity to meet and talk, it's good, because it might sound a bit frustrating, and I'm sorry, but there are so many countries wishing to participate now, and to organize one of these showcases. So I do my best again to try and make it happen at some point. Sometimes it takes a year, sometimes a couple of years, but it always ends up happening. That's the good news. So any time is a good time to start the conversation.
Could you tell us about Doc Day?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So the Cannes Docs program as a whole lasts officially throughout the entire market, but the really busy days are around 6 days. So technically this year, for example, that would be from Thursday, May 18th, and we have an opening cocktail on the 18th until Tuesday 23rd. And as every year, traditionally the program rounds off with Dog Day, which is a full day series of panels, discussions, keynotes, master classes, with some of the directors with a documentary film selected in the one or the other official Cannes sections. So not only the official Cannes Film Festival, where there are a number of docs selected every year, but also the Directors Fortnight, Acide, extremely interesting sidebar section of Cannes, sometimes not the most famous, but and it's not competitive. Sometimes that's also maybe why it's not that famous, but it's actually one of the sidebar sections in Cannes with where there's the most passion for creative docs. And so yeah, Doc Day is, well, it's basically a day to highlight the genre and the makers in Cannes, a celebration of documentary in Cannes, but we also have some conversations during this day which are more industry-oriented, again also trying to always tackle some of the issues out there that we all feel should be explored and pushed and highlighted. So anything that has to do with, you know, diversity, inclusion, social justice, and so on. We try to put some focus on some of these urgent and vital issues. And then there's another cocktail for the entire doc community to get together before you know, one last time in Cannes, and to happily round off the program.
I think like if you are a super ambitious filmmaker, and if you are really trying to reach that theatrical market, really one of the few places in Europe you can do that is in Cannes. There are a couple of other ones too, and obviously IDFA also has great access to decision makers, and we had 2 discussions with IDFA, but it isn't the only place. And especially if you're a Francophile, like a Francophone, sorry, not a Francophile, also if you love baguette, you're welcome to be there too, and champagne. But if French is your first language, you might feel really good in Cannes because lots of people are speaking French, right?
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. And I think it's actually also one of the many questions in itself when about how this industry works, the language issue. But yeah, it's true that in Cannes you'll be able to connect with a lot of French-speaking professionals, so that might be helpful as well. Yeah, for sure.
How many accredited guests attend the Marché every year?
Well, it's been a bit varying. It's been changing these past years, obviously, but we are back to pre-COVID figures, more or less, and that's 12 to 13,000 professionals just at the Marché. There's a lot of professionals as well, with a festival badge. Overall, it's a lot of people. Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's really, again, as I said, like if this is your ambition, like it's a great place to be. And I really think that that Cannes Doc does an amazing job to try to, yeah, as you said, like offer this open space for documentary people, so that like you don't feel overwhelmed in like the sea of opportunity and possibility, to have a grounded place where you know you can make your meetings, or you know you'll meet everybody at the happy hour, etc. So I really commend you guys, and I really can't wait to be there in May. I cannot wait.
Well, cannot wait to see you there and to see all of you there. I guess my contact will be shared somehow, and feel free to get in touch, honestly, at any time. I'll be happy to help and answer additional questions or doubts if necessary. Yeah.
I have 2 last questions for you. The first one is, where do you travel to the same markets every year? If somebody wanted to meet you outside of Cannes, where might they find you?
Well, some of these, well, some of the markets I tend to go to every year because they're very important. And that would be, you know, IDFA, CPH, Vision du Réel. I'm also in Gilava, Irklava, almost every year. I actually collaborate with them for their market activities. And then outside, and Doc Leipzig as well is one of the places I've been going to in the past. And outside of Europe, it's more, it varies a lot more, because I've been trying to, you know, of course, not always go to the same places, because it's interesting and important to try and be in several parts of the world. So yeah, that would be my answer. Of course, there are some questions on how much should one travel and how far, and etc. But the festivals and markets I've mentioned are, you know, the top, at least European places where you might, well, where you are sure to be meeting a lot of really interesting and relevant professionals from the industry. Yeah.
Okay, and my last question is, even though it's very silly to ask people living and working in Europe this question, but what do you think we could be doing to support African talent more?
Yeah, well, so we need to a number of organizations out there. We've mentioned one, IEFTA. There are others. For example, one of the Doc Talks last May was co-hosted with Documentary Africa, Doc A. They're also actively trying to help and support African doc filmmakers. So all these organizations need the support and any kind of visibility as well that we could give. And then trying to build specific maybe programs, mentoring, tutoring programs, specifically designed maybe at African filmmakers and more globally communities for whom it's for various reasons maybe a bit more complicated to access for example, these European markets and festivals I've mentioned, and Cannes, of course. And so this is something that at Cannes Docs, again, we need to address more. I want to be also very honest about that. It's a challenge because of some of the things I've mentioned already in terms of limited resources, etc. But there are programs out there which tend to mix online workshops spread over a few weeks maybe, and then at the end of this online period, maybe coming in person to the event, and that clearly is a model that, of course, has been refining maybe during the COVID years, that we need to embrace. But I think it shouldn't be. Well, the hybridity is complicated sometimes in terms of organization, but when it comes to trying to be more inclusive, it works. You need to have the resources to do it properly, for it to be a good quality hybrid program. But it's good that it's hybrid, because online only is not optimal, and on-site only is leaves too many people out of the game. So I think these hybrid targeted programs, we shouldn't have. Well, I think most festivals and markets have actually decided not to keep a full hybridity on all of their events and activities, because it's too much to organize. But we should definitely keep on with this hybridity for targeted, meaningful programs, trying to challenge the inclusion issue. Yeah, that's what I think.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, and see you all soon in Cannes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.